That's right, the name has changed. And that's so that we can expand from more than around New Hampshire. And for more info on the change, you can head over to my Instagram. Now, I am all about good value. I love McDonald's because, well, it's a great value. Lots of food for cheap, even if it may mean I spend the rest of the day on the potty. And I'm no different when it comes to cars. So that's why I'm very pleased to be driving something that is known for just that. This is the 2008 Nissan 350Z. The last year of the Nissan 350Z. And today I'm going to take you on a tour of it and talk about its features and its performance specs. Then we're going to take it on a little shakedown on the beautiful back roads of New Hampshire. Is a sports car benchmark for being an incredible price for performance artist. It mixes a balance of aggressive styling, good comfort for a sports car, reliability, and performance. And its younger brothers were no different. In fact, this car merely takes the recipe that made them so popular and re-engineered it to fit in today's world. The division-dividing Datsun 240Z shook up the segment back in 1970 by doing just this. It gave sports car enthusiasts and drivers an option they didn't have before. Drivers could have the cheaper Triumphs and Fiats and stuff like that, or they could divorce their wives, sell everything, and go for the serious niche performers by way of the Corvette or 911. The 240Z split the difference and offered a new kind of performance for the money. Fast forward to today and the Nissan 350Z is no different. Buyers could go the cheaper and baby horsepower route with the Mazda Miata or the Pontiac Solstice / Saturn Sky with their eye-peeling 166 horsepower to 173 horsepower. Or they could step up and go for the 430 horsepower Corvette or Porsche 911, which at that time gave around 50 more horsepower at about double the cost.
This isn't fair!
The 350Z shattered the market and gave drivers a great performer at an affordable cost. Not much more than the MX-5 Miatas and GM's Solstice and Sky, but offering almost double the horsepower. So let's find out then the formula that Nissan used to create such a car. This 2008 model has the many improvements to the Z Nissan made after the 2006 model year. It has bigger alloy wheels, tighter steering, bigger brakes, and a bigger sound system. Now the 350Z was available as a coupe or a roadster. This coupe is finished in the carbon silver metallic, and it's a beautiful color that drapes that sculpted flowing body well. And that was what was very popular about these cars, is their cool design. It's so curvy with the sloped roof lines, bulbous rear quarter panels, and hidden design cues like the tasteful bulge on the hood, reminiscent of the 240Z, and to accommodate the raised deck height of the new engine. On the front, you have features like these xenon headlights that look like they belong in Battlestar Galactica. And in the rear, you get these LED taillights that pay homage to Mazda's Wankel rotary engine with their odd triangular design. But the best part of the exterior of the Nissan 350Z is just how notable it is. There's no mistaking one of these when you see them. Right, so under the hood is the 3.5 liter VQ35HR High Revolution V6. This replaced the VQ35DE used in the previous generations of the Z up to 2006. It produces 306 brake horsepower at 6,800 RPM and 268 foot-pounds of torque at 4,800 revs. These engines are fantastic as they make good, reliable power naturally aspirated without the addition of turbochargers or superchargers. That engine sits in the snout of Nissan's FM platform, which stands for front mid-engine. This means the engine resides just behind the front wheels, which gives good weight distribution, resulting in better handling with the help of its independent front suspension. That engine is mounted to this proper 6-speed manual pilot-shifted transmission with a third pedal. It gives you a seductive, mechanically direct feel when you shift it. A 5-speed automatic was available for squares. It even puts that power through a carbon fiber drive shaft. Inside the Z, it's obvious you are inside a real deal pure driver's car. The seats are greatly supportive and hold you in well. The driver's seat even has a slight cutaway for better access to the shifter. Directly in front of the driver is a large 9,000 RPM tachometer. And what I like about this is when you go to tilt the steering wheel, the gauges move with it. This allows a crystal clear view of the gauges at all times. I like that a lot. Up to the driver's right and facing toward him are these 3 auxiliary gauges reading off battery voltage, oil pressure, and the last one is selectable. These gauges pay homage to the original 240Z where the similar gauge setup can be seen. Now back to that last selectable gauge. Now this is a very cool feature to have. You can select it to read off regular stats such as speed or fuel range, but there's also a track timer in here for when you decide to bring your Z out for some laps. Along with that, there's also a shift light in the main cluster, and this auxiliary gauge allows you to set the RPM you want to be reminded to shift at. Although the Z's interior might not be crafted from the leather of ostriches from Mars, the interior is tasteful. Everywhere you look at and touch are peppered with pleasant details, such as the aluminum door handles and aluminum steering wheel trim. The one thing you do have to look out for in these cars is these black painted panels. They are notorious for chipping. This one is in really good shape with only 38,000 miles, but whatever sort of paint they used is not good and it will chip. Now, as for storage, the Nissan 350Z is actually a hatchback, but rear storage is a little cramped. You have this small area in the back here, but because of that beautifully sloping roofline and this sporty rear strut brace, it is kind of hard to fit things back there. There are instructions on here, thankfully, on how to fit 2 golf bags. Very thoughtful, Nissan. Thank you. As I'm driving that it sounds like there's a choir of angelic voices here in the cabin with me, but no. What you're hearing is the only mod done to this car, and that's the NVIDIA N1 exhaust. And to hear what this car sounds like before and after that exhaust, check out the link in the description. This thing sounds incredible. I love it. That V6 sings a note of pure beauty. The HR pushes the Z to 60 miles an hour in just over 5 seconds, and will climb all the way up to a limited top speed of just over 150. Throttle is extremely responsive, almost too much so. Be careful with that because traction control is an option on the base model, and this doesn't have it. I kind of like that. Not only is the 350 swift in the straight and narrow, it's also effortlessly good in the corners. Steering feel is awesome in this thing. It's stiff, this thing, exceptionally stiff. That's why it has a massive strut brace in the front and an even bigger one in the back to take away from your cargo space. Worth it. Definitely worth it. It's rock solid but doesn't creak or squeak. The car feels terrific to control, but it did snack on a little more Twinkies than its cheaper rivals, such as the Miata. At 3,320 pounds, it's not as nimble as the Miata or Solstice for sure, even has a few pounds over the Vette. But regardless, it doesn't boast its weight or make you do extra work to handle its extra poundage. Its control feel is fantastic. I love the feel of this wheel, and I love how simple it is. There's no clutter of having too many buttons or having volume adjustments. It's easy enough to just reach down and change the volume on the radio itself. These pedals are aligned magnificently for heel-toe shifting. Though I do wish they were aluminum or something. For a firm and sporty car, it's not uncomfortable by any means. That's a very good thing, because that means you can drive this long distances and not end your trip in the same shape as an 85-year-old man. You have this nice pad for your knee so it's not constantly banging against the plastic. I have space in here with ample headroom even for me, and these seats are very, very comfortable. This is an unwavering, true-blooded sports car that can be used and enjoyed every day. You can drive this comfortably on your long commute to work, and on your way home, take the long route and have a blast down your favorite windy back road. It's a car that delivers more than just good looks. It's a serious performance bargain that gives a visceral experience to drive hard, but able to live with every day. And whether you're on that commute to work, or carving some corners, or blasting down two-lane straights, you can't help but smile. And what more could you ask of a car that puts a big grin on your face? This thing is awesome. If you guys enjoyed this video, you're definitely not going to want to miss this one. But that's it for me today. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Happy motoring.